Hi guys, welcome to another informative video from RCJuice. Today we're going to talk about something that's fairly new to our hobby and we're getting a lot of questions about pretty much every single day, and that would be high voltage LiPo batteries. So first things first, as the name implies, these are simply higher voltage than your standard LiPo batteries. So what that means on these guys, your standard nominal voltage of a regular LiPo cell that we're used to, standard voltage is 3.7 volts per cell. So a 2-cell LiPo battery, that's where they get the 7.4 volts. You have two 3.7 volt cells, so a 2-cell pack, 7.4 volts. On high voltage LiPo packs, each cell goes up to 3.8 volts per cell nominal voltage. So if you had a fully charged high voltage pack, that pack is going to be a 7.6 volt pack. See if we can see that here down below, 7.6 volts per pack, high voltage cell. So when I say nominal voltage, what I'm referring to there is your standard operating voltage of a cell. When they're discharged, they drop down quite a bit lower. When they're fully charged, they go up higher. So your regular LiPo cells go up to 4.2 volts per cell. So a fully charged LiPo pack, a fully charged 2-cell LiPo pack is going to be 8.4 volts. A fully charged 2-cell high voltage LiPo pack is going to be 8.6 volts per cell. So of course the number one question we get is, does this make more power? The answer is yes. But it only does so for a short amount of time in the charge cycle, and we're going to explain that in a little bit here with a drawing that I made for you guys that'll hopefully help explain this a little bit more. The other very common question that we get is, can you use it with any ESC, or do you have to do anything special to your ESC? Fortunately, the answer is yes. You can run it on any standard brushless ESC as long as that ESC is already set up for LiPo batteries and it's already set up to have low voltage cutoff. Then you can run a high voltage battery like any other battery. You don't need to make any other changes to your ESC. Another question we get is, does it last longer? And also, fortunately, yes. Your charge cycle will actually last a little bit longer than a standard voltage battery. And again, when I show you guys this little drawing that we made here, hopefully it'll explain that a little bit better. And the final point that we get very often is, do you need a special charger? And unfortunately, yes, you do need a special charger, but the good news is that pretty much all the newer LiPo chargers now do have a high voltage setting. The only thing that it's doing is, instead of cutting it off at that 4.2 volts per cell, it's going to let them bump up to 4.3 volts the cell. The charger just has to know that it's charging a high voltage pack, so it will add that extra voltage in there. But other than that, there's nothing special about chargers, and again, you'll see it on pretty much all newer chargers. So now I'll show you guys my little drawing, and hopefully it'll help put a visual to this and explain just a little bit better on exactly what high voltage LiPo packs are all about. Okay guys, so in our example here, this orange bar here is going to represent our high voltage LiPo pack. The green bar is going to represent a standard voltage LiPo pack. These are all of our voltages as we go down through the charge cycle. And over here we've got minutes of runtime, so our total is going to be 6 minutes. Please keep in mind, none of this is to scale. It's just a visual representation of the difference between the two LiPo packs. So we can see here, if we're starting with a high voltage pack that's 7.6 volts, and yes, a fully charged LiPo pack, or a fully charged high voltage LiPo pack is going to be 8.6 volts. A fully charged standard LiPo pack is going to be 8.4 volts. We use the nominal voltages because it's easier to understand and it's the standard. So keeping that in mind, a charged high voltage LiPo pack, in this first minute of runtime, we're going to definitely make more power than even a charged up standard 2-cell LiPo pack is, only because we have more available voltage. So when we say that yes, it does make more power, but for a shorter amount of time, or for a short amount of time, this is what we're talking about here. At the very first part of the charge cycle, you're going to make more power flat out than a standard voltage LiPo pack. You'll see that the rest, though, there are corresponding voltages within both LiPo batteries. So what this is saying is, again, first minute of runtime, we have more power. On a high voltage pack, once we're running for 2 minutes, we're going to be at 7.2 volts. On your standard LiPo pack, after 2 minutes, we're going to be at 7 volts. So at the same point of running your RC, you will still be making more power than you would be with a regular LiPo battery. But again, that's just due to the fact that we started out at a higher voltage and we've got further to fall. So both of these batteries are going to drop down to the same voltage. Your ESC will cut off at the same voltage, but since we're starting out higher, we just got further to fall. So hopefully that kind of explains why there is a short period of time where you'll flat out make more power, and then the rest of the charge cycle, it's making more power at a different time in the charge cycle, and it's just going to last longer until they both hit that low voltage cutoff. One final point I forgot to mention, guys, we do get a lot of guys asking us, can you charge a high voltage pack on a regular charger? Lots of times guys want to buy the high voltage pack, but they don't have the charger yet, and they want to know if they can just run that pack in the meantime. You can. You're only going to get the same performance as a standard LiPo pack, so you're kind of wasting that high voltage feature of the LiPo battery, but you're not going to hurt anything. And if you want to go ahead and run it with a standard charger or charge it with a standard charger until you get the high voltage charger, there's no problem in doing that. And that pretty much sums up the basic differences between standard voltage LiPos, high voltage LiPos. Hopefully that clears it up for you guys that may have not been clear on what the differences are. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at the link in the description below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.